This video is made with the sponsorship of Ecrotech New Zealand, one source for all your beekeeping requirements. Hi, Trev here from Trevs Bees, Facebook and YouTube. Jay I want to talk to you about how I set up my beehives out in the field, out in the apiary. I put all my hives on these little double pallets that I make. But first off, we'll start from the ground up. I go to the local carpet layers armed with a couple of pots of honey, and I ask them if they've got any old carpet that they've removed from houses. And I've got an arrangement now that I can go down there any time, have a look in their scrap bin, and I can get old carpet that's still in reasonable condition, got a bit of life left in it, and I can chop this up to suit. I make them 1.5 meters square. That suits me for the way I do my beekeeping. When you put this on the ground, it's going to last for many years, because a lot of it's nylon or even wool, doesn't really matter. It's going to last for years. That means that there's not going to be any grass and stuff growing around the bees, around the entranceways and whatever, and you can run around with a weed eater around the outside without disturbing the bees too much. So for the price of a couple of pots of honey, I can get a pretty big pile of these bits of carpet, and the carpet layer gets his benefit in the fact that he doesn't have to pay for dump fees. The next thing is I make my little pallets. And I make these for less than $10 each. And the way I do that is I buy fence rails from the local merchant. They either come in 4.8 or 6.4 metre lengths. I cut them 600 long. But you need to do your numbers. When you're at the lumberyard, you find that the price per metre varies between the 4.8 and the 6 metres. Sometimes the 6 metres are cheaper, sometimes the 4.8s, and it can be quite a big difference. So obviously we need 3 pieces of fence rail. And then these boards here are 1.8 metre fence pails. They're about $3.50 each. At 1.8, chop them in half, need 2 of them obviously. And they come out then at 900. So my little pallets here are 900 by 600. And that then gets the hive off the ground by a further 150 millimetres. So that stops moisture coming up through the bottom of the hive. Nice and cheap. So next, as I've said before, how I set these up, and I still set them up like this. So out here, and now when you've got the 2 of these together, you can see where this colour coding comes in, and that helps a little bit with bee drift, preventing the bees drifting. They will still always drift, can't do much about that. But the good thing with the way having these little boards here, if the hives by chance move sideways a bit, they still won't fall off the pallet. They're still locked down. Especially when there's a bit of weight in the hive. Next, it's sitting on there like that. I also have my hives 2 different colours. That also prevents the bees drifting. The bees recognise the colours pretty easily. So I just want to also show you, I'm obviously talking from behind the hive, but when I'm working them, I work from here. So I work this hive from this side And obviously I work this hive from this side. Bees are coming and going from here. I am never in their flight path. They don't worry me too much. And if I need to take the pallet boxes off, I can take the boxes off and sit them down here, and they're on the carpet, in the clean. If you put them out there further, they're on the grass, or worse still, on some metal or some other thing, and bits of crud get stuck underneath the beehive on the propolis. So that's it for how I set up my hives out in the field. Oh, then the next pair of hives will be about another further metre apart. So I have them in little pairs, and then I have them as long as I want, and ideally in a little bit of a curve. But sometimes you can't always do that. So that's it from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll catch you around in the beehive.